That is Scarlett versus Bunny. Best of 3 here. One of the early rounds of the TSL 5 Korean Qualifier number 1. So nothing too crazy just yet. In terms of getting close to qualifier stage or anything, we're actually still a ways away. But obviously some fantastic matches to happen, as we have got in the top left-hand side our blue Terran player. This from Kaisi Gaming is Bunny. Taking on the red Zerg in the bottom right. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Scarlett, of course. I know a lot of you will be. Very excited to see some of Scarlett's ZvT here. I feel like I've not watched Scarlett ZvT in an eternity. I'm trying to think the last time I watched Scarlett ZvT. I mean, I guess in the GSL she got kind of, was it really watching Scarlett ZvT when she kind of got bopped by innovation in the GSL? Well, not really. I know Scarlett can do much better than that, right? So it's been a while since we've seen Scarlett really show up in the ZvT, I suppose, but yeah. I guess we'll see what's going to happen as we get ourselves into this one. Hatch gas and a spawning pool to begin. As you do see the Reaper on the way from Bunny in the main base. The SCV of Bunny going to be moving out onto the map. So we'll SCV scout in the early stages. So coming across to SCV scout here. Down this bottom right side. So SCV coming to look to see what's up. Hatchery is building some queens, of course. Scarlett ZvT, sometimes she likes to go aggressive and go for those roach attacks, but if she doesn't, she really does just like to play Ling Bane meter, and I think it's a style that she really created for herself way back then, or made herself known for way back when. It works so well for Scarlett because her creep spread is just insane. I mean, she was one of the very first Zergs to really show us, like, levels of creep that you just don't really ever expect. This is a nice start from Bunny. SCV blocking the third on the low ground, on the bottom side, and the Reaper blocking the third on the top side here. So, pretty good start here for Bunny, who's kind of, I mean, in a way, I kind of would have let this third base come up. I mean, it's nice to delay it, but now Scarlett just gets this bottom side third, which is kind of the better third base for her to take in the end anyways, right? So, a little bit funky in that regard, I suppose. Is she really going to just take it here still? Wow, she is. So this is a very forward base to take. Obviously a little bit different from maybe where it should be. And so it's much easier for Bunny to push into that position, push into that base. So that's kind of a big deal. As this Reaper continues down the bottom side. Coming down there. I'm just going to be seeing the starport going to be finishing up in a few moments' time. Factory moves over to the right. And the third CC drops down in the main base. So Bunny not going to be wasting much time with regards to building up on that as the Reaper here gets picked off. Group spread just going to come pressing forwards. Scott's going to end up going for the lab before Evo Chambers. Makes sense. It's a fairly quick lab. But you've got this third hatchery delayed, right? So the way your saturation works, basically, you get these gases up a little bit soon. And to really make use of those gases, what would have been drones maybe onto this mineral line, now are drones that go into these gases. And so you just make use of that a little bit. And just going towards, well, oftentimes a spy, but she's actually building a roach roar. And so maybe this is just a straight up Nidus attempt from Scarlett to try and be aggressive in-game number 1. Factory reactor building up. A couple of extra racks going to be coming through as well. There's that third CC setting up, as we do see just a couple of engineering bays down on the natural expansion, the Banshee of Bunny. Down to the bottom right. He will just be playing that bio style. No surprises there. It's a question really of what Scarlett wants to do. This road speed, like I say, I mean, this forward base can oftentimes mean aggression as well, because you push off of it more easily. it makes sense because that means you've got a more genuine way to kind of hold that base. As this Banshee comes around into the center, Roach speed building up on the Roach run, a few extra Roaches coming up. And these couple of Queens out in the center, able to push this Banshee away up to the upper left-hand side. That Banshee gets pushed back as the 1-1 upgrades of Bunny still continuing through. A little bit of creep spread into the center of the map as well. Scarlett Queens can intercept that Banshee, so Banshee goes down. It's a nice pick off. The Banshee wasn't cloaked in the end, so upon seeing the scout of the cloak, Bunny basically just pulled away from that and just went more heavily into the bio already. So it's not super crazy to lose this Banshee, but now the Queens are coming across the map, and there's been Roaches and Ravages produced off 46 drones for kind of a while here. So this is going to become a pretty aggressive attack forwards. And there's going to be seeing the units coming all the way across here. So away we go. Roaches, Ravages getting this start. We're going to see the tank is siege up on the high ground. Marines have got stim, but that'll be about it. High ground vision is there, and the Corrosive Vials a little slow to get rid of this siege tank, I feel, perhaps, as Bunny. And some trouble at the front, perhaps. Tank coverage in the natural is good, though. A few more Corrosive Vials, and that's a supply depot that gets taken down. This Orbital Command having to fly away already as well. Still got some Roaches, Ravages, and Queens joined up down this low ground here. Another tank from Bunny will siege up. The army of Scarlett just sat out the front for the moment or two with the 1-1 upgrades, combat shields, all of this continuing in production. So it's only getting better for Bunny in terms of upgrades, but, well, for the moment he's not mining off a third base, and that obviously is a little bit costly. This is another supply depot here, perhaps, so it's going to be a supply block from Bunny too. He's actually going to end up trying to take this base on the top side instead. Now Scarlett's got creep all the way across the map, though, so whatever Bunny does when he gets out of this, he's going to have to push back so much creep spread before he can realistically start getting a bunch done. It's pretty crazy as these medevacs pull back in towards the natural. Queens join up in the natural as well, between the natural and the fourth base now, which Scarlett starts to establish. So Queens have gone back home, and honestly what's great for Scarlett here, I think, most is that she lost basically nothing, right? So she did a lot of delaying, and she did a lot of, trading, and a lot of killing without actually really losing anything herself, which makes life so much better when it comes towards the future now, because she doesn't have to, rebuild a bunch of Roaches to survive. In fact, she can focus on droning a little bit. Corrosive Vials as the bio units jump up into the medevacs here. More Lings around the upper right-hand side, down the right as well. Ravages and Roaches continuing across, looking to see where they can get to as the supply depot will drop down. A couple of supply depots will drop down from Bunny over to this right-hand side. So getting a couple of depots up and running. As we do see the armory coming in, it's about halfway done. Concussive Shells, as mentioned before, is continuing along. There's just so much creep on this map. I mean, it's just terrifying. It's not the largest map, right? So the creep is obviously more easily able to get all the way across as this bio army comes around this right side. A few Lings chilling in the top right, and just going to see the Ling Roach Ravager pressing through. The couple medevacs have to pull away. And Bunny's bio just going to keep on moving around the south here. Going to be in range to get rid of a few of these creep teamers, so a few creep teamers going down. Those Roaches and Ravagers coming in again. Medevacs have to lift up and back away over the left-hand side. Extra drones coming out, the hive building up. A +2 attack upgrade on the engineering bay coming in as well as Bunny continues down the right side. Lings and Banes, Queens as well, all of this joining together. Scarlett obviously has pretty good setup right now to really provide good coverage and to really stop Bunny getting anywhere, and that's the issue, right? That's what the Scarlett's early attack has really achieved more than anything. She just has full control of the map. She is super safe. I mean, this is probably her weakest position in the sense that it's only 2 creep teamers deep before, you're on top of the base, so she doesn't see attacks from this left side coming as quickly, but even that she gets back to in plenty of time to respond to and defend, and now she's going to get even more creep up here as the Queens are here. And some tumors down, although apparently a couple of the Queens got a little bit stuck. Scarlett will just clean out these rocks as well, give herself more access up and down the map with the fourth base of Bunny starting now. As Bunny gets towards 2-2, I mean, he's going to be maxing out, so it's definitely time to try and make some fights happen. But again, it's very difficult to do that when every time, I mean, even trying to go between bases here, he's walking onto creep spread. And that's kind of the issue. Scarlett just sees the entirety of this map, and Bunny needs to carve a way through the center of all of this before he can even push through the center properly with the main army. And even that's going to be risky because Scarlett can run in from the left and the right side and flank into the army to clean up as well. She's on Hive Tech, so Adrenal Glands is on the way. The Ultra's Cavern is already almost done. Because she's just felt so safe, there's been no reason not to. Those Medivacs just playing the Dodgems game with those Corrosive Bars, and they just get out of the way in time. More Bio still pressing forwards. Creep Tumors still going down here as the rest of this Roach Ravager force collecting in the center. Creep Tumors also present up on the top side. You're going to see these Marines and a Marauder pressing through too. A few more Creep Tumors that can perhaps be cleaned up at the moment. The Marines on this right side. There's a couple of Banelings connecting in, so the Marines taking a few shots there. Nothing all too crazy. Lings up this right side of this. Again, creep all the way around the top. A few units down on the bottom side as well, as our command center is going to go floating across towards the fourth base location. So again, that fourth base up. Hopefully, see, this is kind of delayed for Bunny as well. It feels like this fourth base wanted to be kind of up 2 minutes ago. He's just been kind of dwindling at 64 workers, which I just don't think is... Well, he's going to have like a little bit of a rebuild right away, but that's about it. Lings, Banes, Ravagers, Ultras. Setting up down that bottom right. Bio pushing across. Creep Teamer goes down. Hatchery going to be picked away at. A few Zerglings coming over as well. Just going to see the tank sieging up. And again, Bunny on the bottom side, as we do see Ultras coming in. A few Marines getting picked off. A lot of this pressing forwards with these Ravagers with the Banes coming through. The Ultras obviously getting into a good part of this fight as well. A lot of these tanks will just get cleaned up now as they're left on their own. And that's basically the defense, right? Some parasitic bombs coming down and some blinding clouds coming down at the start of this. And yeah, Scarlett's just going to continue through this. I mean, these couple of siege tanks in the back are actually doing better than expected, I think. Again, a lot of shots off, I suppose, as these Ultras try and run forwards. And a little bit of Bio actually stimming through to kill these Ravagers. The problem is the rebuild from Scarlett is going to be full on, full on maxed out against a 130 supply Terran player. He was just going to struggle to recover from here, so... You can see the Medivacs coming back up the top side. The Soldiers coming in. Great Aspire dropping down from Scarlett now in the natural expansion as well. So gets that underway too. A few Bio units pressing forwards. A couple of changes going down. Lings, Ultras coming across. The Bio going to get a little bit surrounded there. The Medivacs do load up. Just going to be seeing the rest of this around in the center. Top side Ultras coming out of Ignitus now as well, so Scarlett's just going to keep up the pressure everywhere. Bunny has been able to rebuild. Problem is Bunny is rebuilding on a Bio force, but he needs like a Ghost Liberator force. Nice snipe on the 5th base, mind you, so he does take away some of Scarlett's economy. And Scarlett is very soon going to be looking towards a potential Great Aspire and hence Broodlords. And they'll just come crash into this top side base. SCVs are going down all over the place. No, we don't have a Workers Kill tab, guys, but 36 down in the game. And obviously a lot of them very recently as the Lings come through. A lot of the Bio getting picked off. I was going to see the Nidus in the main coming up as well. These Bio units getting a couple extra Zergling kills. With the Ultras and the Banelings continuing to push on through. Parasitic Bomb is going to claim that Medivac. So is able to get rid of that. A few Marines stemming forwards. Overseer will go down. Gets rid of any further potential Niduses in the main base. The problem is the damage is kind of already done. Bunny is left on 35 work, is not really where he needs to be. And Scarlett sets up another round of Banes. She's already coming in with these Ultras, Parasitic Bomb and Blinding Clouds. There's actually just a Blinding Cloud or two, actually. I thought... Oh, sorry, there's a Parasitic Bomb on this Medivac over here. I thought I saw one go out. As we do see the Siege Tanks going down. I mean, this is maybe not super effective from Scarlett, in fairness. I mean, these ultras do keep dying when they run into the choke points in the bio like that, but yeah, as the rest of this all gathers up. A couple depots on the top side. Nidus coming along as well. A little bit more bio down into the bottom side of this. And Bunny just going to keep on pushing to try and make something happen off the 4 bases and 35 SCVs that he's been able to keep alive here in all of this. That's all he's really got left. So, again, the economy isn't great. The push right now is very much so do or die. But against Broodlords, there's just not really a setup to fight Broodlords. So I thought maybe a snipe on a Viper there, but it was mostly just Marauders and the units that pushed forwards. There's Lings countering once more. Scarlett coming through to get a few more SCV kills. Again, all of this really came off of the start of the game where Scarlett's attack really put her into a commanding lead and put her into the driving seat for the game. As these Lings continue to run forwards, these Ultras are going to keep on chasing and pressing up in towards this natural expansion. The Banelings will come in from the right side as well. Parasitic bombs dropping down, blinding clouds all over the place. And we're just going to be seen with the tank getting cleaned out and everything. Perhaps being able to push up the ramps, etc. Not just yet. Scarlett's going to back away one more time. I thought that might have been it this time, but apparently not. We'll keep on going. As you do see the units down the bottom right side, SCV is slowly getting rid of that Zergling, losing a couple in the process. I mean, again, though, you're left down 26 workers because more workers went down to that run by and in this fight in general. And as Bunny comes through, a few more creep tumors being picked off. The army of Bunny coming out around the side, a bunch of these creep tumors and the Nidus network up on the top. Again, just a extra set of Banes also on the way in, +2 flyer attack upgrade. Scarlett just, I mean, she's on Broods and Ultras and Banes and Corruptors. It's the kind of army that only loses to like Liberated Ghost, but how do you get to Liberated Ghost of 29 workers? I know Terran's got mules, guys, but mules aren't that good. If they were, we really would have a problem. As the bio comes up, Nidus network gets taken down, and I'm sure Bunny would love to scan here to clean up some creep, but I mean, I feel like that's been a thing all game. At least he did kind of carve the entry through the middle of the map. It's just the creep everywhere else has also just been absolutely untouchable. Bio here, again, a few Lings getting this hatchery. In the center, a few Broodlings going down as well. And more of this army from Bunny through the center of the map. A few extra Marines coming across. I mean, it's really just a matter of waiting for Scarlett to overrun this, right? I actually think if Scarlett had kept making, like, not Broods, but like Ultra Bane, she would have just won by now. But because she's got Broods, it's a little bit tougher to justify the full-on push. Couple creep tumors going down. Zerglings coming through. Just gonna see a few more Marines stemming over as well. Again, a bunch of extra creep tumors being picked off as our Lings run up. Tanks will get sieged here, and the Lings are gonna get pushed away. A couple of Lings getting broken down. Broods, Banes, the Ultra. All of this hanging around in the upper right. Now he's down to the bottom. So we'll see these few Broodlings going down again. So a few Broodlings getting picked off. Vikings of Bunny will continue to gather up in the top side as this hatchery is going to be in some trouble also, but I mean, only because Scarlett's taking a little while to move units towards it. There shouldn't be any really issue in cleaning this up. And as soon as she just go towards it, well, I mean, those tanks on the high ground do more than expected. I feel like mostly because Scarlett's running Banelings at them, but, you know, I guess she doesn't have many just Zerglings remaining, which would have been able to get the job done as well. What does Bunny do, though? Right, he's still stuck on 4 bases at the 20-minute mark, and, you know, I'd love to be a bit more positive and a bit more like, oh, well, you know, maybe this or maybe that, but even if you win a fight here, does that even matter? Oh my god, the fungal parasitic bomb is going to just kill all the Vikings. He does target fire down the Vipers. But now, I mean, the one thing you did have to fight the Broodlords is just gone, so Scarlett's actually going to start bringing these Broodlords forwards. Nidus into the natural expansion of Bunny as well. There's going to be units pouring out of that very shortly, I'm sure. little bit of bio pushing down this left-hand side and going to get on top of some creep tumors already as well. Bit more bio from Bunny across to the far right-hand side. Spine Crawler, Spore Crawler being picked off. These couple of Ultras taking a lot of damage too. As the bio will split around. As we're just going to be seeing the Ultras continue to run forwards here. Just going for as many of these Marines as possible. So a lot of these Marines continue to drop as the Ultras run straight on into this. I mean, again, it's just you don't have an army as Bunny here that can realistically fight, right? Just doesn't exist. Fungal growth drops down. These medevacs and Marines are fallen. It looks as though that was the last thing that Bunny was trying to play with here. So that will be GG, and Scarlett takes game 1 of this best of 3. Second map is going to be Golden Wall, is in the bottom left-hand side. Down a game, our blue Terran player, it is Bunny. Scarlett taking control of that last game very early on, and honestly just playing very safely from there, making sure she wasn't going to lose. Scarlett, our red Zerg bottom right side, keeping the advantage and keeping up, staying in a good position. I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe could have killed Bunny sooner. But also in the end it worked out, right? Was there ever a time where it was like, oh my god, Scarlett's in so much trouble? No. It was like, I don't think for a single push of Bunny I was like, oh yeah, this is his one chance because Scarlett's waited too long. No. So she did everything right. She did things in the right sort of way. Golden Wall for map number 2 gives you a lot of space to work with as well in general. So that's gonna work out. Let me just change my in-game settings, by the way, guys, very quickly. Just to busy, just so no one else PMs us during the games. Apologies for that in game 1. As we do have the Overlord making its way out across the map. There is just a Reaper expansion coming in as well. Not really looking to be anything super crazy there. So Overlord to the far left-hand side. This SCV on a bit of a wander across, of course. Would like to just see what Scarlett's build is. Double check if she's going for a early pool or anything. Obviously, that can oftentimes lead to quite some aggression as well. That factory of Bunny starting up in this main base. Obviously just single gas at the moment. Okay, we'll take double gas, as about to say. It's getting to that point where we can start talking about a fast 3 command center opening. Obviously not where we actually end up in the end. Well, there's a couple extra Marines coming out. There's Zergland speed coming up and well, getting going. The Reaper up into the main base and just having a run around. Nice little grenade here. Scares the Queen off. Maybe gets chased up this right-hand side. As you see the orbital command dropping into the natural expansion left from Scarlett in the main base. And the Overlord is just coming along in towards the main for a moment or two as well. So super fast slay on the Rotron. This time, it really feels like she's going to Nidus. This Overlord's getting behind to drop the Nidus in this corner. This corner is so frustrating because you just don't see it as Bunny. Like, you just don't have vision on this corner. And it feels like a corner you should have vision on. And then you don't, and you're just like, really? There's a Nidus there? Really nice if this Reaper gets to see the lair, though. But the Queen will deny it. He will maybe have... I don't think actually clicked on the gas to see that either, though. Banshee and Cloak on the way up. That doesn't matter so much if there's going to be an Overseer in the corner and Queen's popping out a Nidus network, though. There it is. Nidus starting up, so Scarlett. One thing that maybe Bunny saw already was the fact there was no third base with the Reaper, so that's something he could be looking towards here as a, okay, what are you doing then? Again, this Overlord just hanging around the back, ready to Nidus up here in a few moments' time. He's back into the center of the map and just waiting for the Nidus to pop up. So like I say, you just don't see this as Bunny. It's like the It's like such a stupid position. It's like you just don't expect it to be that. And I mean, this has been a thing for a while. I'm kind of surprised people haven't gotten a little bit better at kind of paying attention to the fact that this is a Nidus position. I mean, now Queen's already coming out. You do maybe need to get the... Okay, GG. On the plus side, guys, TY versus Sue is waiting for us. GG, Scarlett is going to take it 2-0. The Nidus is going to be too much. Bunny has 0 preparation. And Scarlett is just going to do it just like that. 2-0, heading to the next round of the qualifier.